pension system, Secretary Diokno was quoted saying, "It is not sustainable, and if it goes on, there will be a fiscal collapse."
That's a big component of our GDP is maybe around 20 trillion. So you can imagine, right? And the pension system that is for the military is not a real pension system in the following sense. Kung nating i-ignore yung military pension system, baka po yung ating investment grade ngayon na sa mga rating agency, baka po yan maging junk. Magiging junk po tayo.
Ang dating sa mga kasundaluhan at mga uniform personnel, para tayo tuloy ang magiging cost ng paghihirap ng Pilipinas kung talagang magkakaroon ng fiscal collapse. So yun ang iniisip nila eh. They were threatened by the term fiscal collapse. Ayaw rin naman talaga natin na magiging rason tayo na bumagsak yung gobyerno ng Pilipinas dahil dyan of the national government budget or 282.757 billion.
Magandang araw sa atin lahat mga kababayan po natin. So yung pag-uusapan po natin ngayon ay patungkol naman sa nangyaring Senate inquiry mga kababayan po natin. Patungkol nga sa pagbabago ng pension o yung tinatawag nating Military and Uniform Personnel Pension Reform Bill. Kung saan ito umano ay kapag napirmahan na nga ng dalawang house, lower house at ang Senado, ay posibleng okay na umano. Wala na umanong dapat ipangamba ayon kay Secretary Diokno itong sinasabing fiscal collapse. So fiscal collapse ibig sabihin ay lalong babagsak yung ating ekonomiya kapag patuloy umano na nagbibigay tayo ng pensyon sa ating mga retired military and uniform personnel pero walang pumapasok. So kumbaga not sustainable umano ayon kay Secretary Diokno. Kaya hinihiling niya ngayon sa House of Representatives at sa Senate of the Philippines na aprubahan na itong Military and Uniform Personnel Pension Reform para okay na umano, wala nang dapat problemahin. Kasi within 4 years umano, posibleng bumagsak nga ang ating ekonomiya. Kaya ayon kay Senator Bato, para nakakahiya naman na parang ang military at uniform personnel pa umano yung sisihin dahil sa kanilang pensyon. Kaya babagsak umano yung ekonomiya ng ating bansa. Kaya alam ko dito sa bagong MUP Pension Reform Bill ay I think kailangan natin mag-contribute itong mga active or in the service na mga military and uniform personnel. So kasama yung mga police dyan, bombero, Navy, Air Force. So lahat na military and uniform personnel. Pero hindi ko lang alam kung itutuloy pa ba ang kanilang plano na pati itong nagtatanggap o yung nagpipensyon ngayon ay parang babawasan ang kanilang pensyon para idagdag doon sa pondo ng military and uniform personnel. Kasi ayon kay Secretary Diokno, kababayan po natin, patuloy umano na binabudgetan itong pensyon ng military and uniform personnel pero walang pumapasok. So, kaya ang term niya is not sustainable ang sinasabi niya kasi walang contribution pero may beneficiary which is malaki umano sa pondo ng ating gobyerno ay napupunta dito. So, yun ang kanyang pinaglalaban. Kaya gusto niya talaga maaprobahan. Samantala, itong Senator Bato de la Rosa ay nais niya ngayon na increasean itong budget ng Department of National Defense para ma-upgrade umano yung kagamitan natin. Lalong-lalo na ngayon ang nangyayari sa West Philippines na ginagawa lang tayong laruan, bully nitong China dahil nga mahina po tayo, mahina yung ating Navy equipment, mahina yung ating military equipment which is kailangan umano ay ma-improve. Kaya nais talaga ni Senator Bato de la Rosa na mas madagdagan pa ang pondo ng Department of National Defense. So ikinatuwa naman ni Senator Bato de la Rosa na sana umano ay maayos na itong pensyon ng ating mga military at itong panukala nga ng Department of Finance na baguhin yung pension system ng military and uniform personnel. Sana umano ay hindi masyadong maapektuhan yung kababayan natin, lalo na itong mga retired military and uniform personnel po natin. Kasi kung tutuusin, on call pa sila eh. So kahit retirado na sila, pero kapag kailangan ang kanilang serbisyo ng ating gobyerno, ay record pa rin sila magtrabaho. So napakalaking problema umano dahil buhay nga ang nakataya sa mga military personnel po natin.
So current MUP Pension system, Secretary Diokno was quoted saying, "It is not sustainable, and if it goes on, there will be a fiscal collapse." Can you explain to us what is the meaning of fiscal collapse? How will this happen? What will be the signs that tell us that we are experiencing fiscal collapse?
Thank you, Your Honor. At that time, our estimate of the military pension is the liability there was already 9 trillion pesos, Your Honor. But that was that has to be updated. I don't know, maybe it's around, what's the most recent estimate? 5 trillion. And that's a big part of the, that's a big component of our GDP is maybe around 20 trillion. So you can imagine, right? And the pension system that is for the military, it's not a real pension system in the following sense. There are no contributors. A pension system is where the beneficiaries of the pension system contribute to the system, and there's a government counterpart, okay? But in this particular sense, there is no contribution on the part of the beneficiaries. And we only appropriate it annually, Your Honor. We appropriate annually. And this started during the term of President Ramos, Your Honor. And many presidents tried to correct it because it is not sustainable in the sense that you cannot have a pension system where there are beneficiaries but no contributors, right? And so you had ERAP, you had GMA for 10 years, and then you had Pinoy, and then you had Duterte. And so I think this president now has accepted that we really need to address it. Otherwise, it will become a huge component of the national budget, Your Honor. That is when I say that is the meaning of unsustainable, Your Honor.
Thank you, sir. Halimbawa, sir, hindi may pasa yung MUP Pension Reform Bill.
Okay. In fact, the current situation now, Your Honor, is that the amount that we allocate for the military pension is much higher than the current operating budget of the military.
Yes, sir.
Ganun po kabigat na po.
So meaning, sir, it will take, kung next administration, it will take around more than 4 years bago magkukolapse yung ating economy. Fiscal collapse.
Right now, Your Honor, we are in a kaya nga po tayo nagkaroon ng medium-term fiscal framework kasi because of the pandemic, tumaas na po yung debt service natin. Debt as a percent of our GDP, tumaas na po to around 61%, no? Dati po nasa 40% lang yan. So, kaya ang unang-unang action ni Presidente Marcos Jr. ay yung fiscal consolidation. Kasi we have to go back to where we were before, after the crisis. Kaya yung tinitingnan po yan ng mga rating agencies, no? Kasi kung patuloy po natin i-ignore yung military pension system, baka po yung ating investment grade ngayon na sa mga rating agency, baka po yan maging junk po tayo. It will be more difficult for us to finance our budget, borrow money, and it will be also difficult for the private sector to borrow money.
Yes, sir. Kaya nga I am soliciting your opinion, ikaw mang expert dito, para naman ma-convince ko yung mga kasamahan ko na ipasa na natin itong MUP Pension Reform Bill dahil sabi ni Secretary Diokno, next administration, fiscal collapse na tayo.
Salamat po. Magandang balita po, sir. Magandang balita po. Nagkaroon meron technical working group sa lower house, headed by Joey Salceda, and they just have a win-win situation po. Agree po kami dun sa version niyan at version po ng Kongreso. I think pinasa na nila. Pinasa na nila. Pag pinasa niyo po, solve na ho tayo.
Depende yan. Depende. We cannot assume right away na everything that is being passed to us by the House of Representatives ay automatically papasaya sa Senado. That will go through mabigat pa na deliberasyon yan.
Nakita ko po, sir, yung version. I think that is fairly acceptable. And that is a result of extensive consultation na po with all the branches of the military, PNP, sa mga other uniform personnel. Yun na po, after extensive consultation, yun naging produkto na po.
Thank you, sir. We will wait for that. Once it is passed to us from the lower house, titingnan natin. So, meron ba tayong ibang mission, sir, na being undertaken to ensure fiscal sustainability and responsible financial management in the 2024 National Expenditure Program other than the proposed MUP pension reform?
Marami po. In fact, this is part of what is called medium-term fiscal framework na inadapt natin ng executive and it also adopted by both houses of Congress. And as far as we're concerned, on track ho tayo. And it consists not only of the military pension reform, but also some of the tax measures na kailangan nating ipasa. And of course, on the collection of revenues naman, we're okay. And of course, we're limiting the deficit po. I think for this year, we're limiting the deficit to 5.1% of the economy. And our target is that we will limit it to 3%. Babalik ko tayo dun sa 3% before the pandemic po. So, as I said, yun ang unang-una talagang ginawa natin. But to give confidence to the outside world that we are in control. Yung tawag doon fiscal consolidation program. First na nangyari sa Pilipinas yun at first time din po na in-approve ng both houses of Congress.
Kaya ko tinanong yan, sir, dahil nga, parang ang dating sa mga kasundaluhan at mga uniform personnel, para tayo tuloy ang magiging coach ng paghihirap ng Pilipinas kung talagang magkakaroon ng fiscal collapse. So yun ang iniisip nila eh. They were threatened by the term fiscal collapse. Ayaw rin naman talaga natin na magiging rason tayo na bumagsak yung gobyerno ng Pilipinas dahil dyan sa of the national government budget or 282.757 billion. Do you think this is enough reflection of the President's pronouncement that we will not surrender any part of our territory to any foreign country? Kuha na ba ito? Adequate na ba ito? Or what do you think, sir?
That is much higher than the previous year's budget, Your Honor.
How much was previous year's budget? Defense budget?
Our defense sector. For DND po, wala pa po. Saan yung sa DND? Department of Defense din to eh. Diba? For DND po, we posted an increase po. In fact, in 2023 GAA, it's 210 billion pesos, but for 2024 proposed po, it's 233 billion pesos po. Much of the increase po dito is yung sa AFP, revised AFP modernization program because in 2023 GAA po, it was only 27.5 billion and then we binalik po namin siya sa level na 50 billion for 2024 as previous years po.
Thank you, ma'am. Can we get the percentage as compared to the national government budget? Ito ngayon kasi 4.9. Was last year only 4.5 or 3 point something? So that will not increase. If it was ngayon 4.9 last year.
If we will look po the proposed budget for 2024 by sector po, it will post an increase po of 4.9. The share po is 4.9%. Tumaas po siya from this year's 4.4% as a share of the total budget po.
Thank you for that increase, ma'am. But I think yung increase na yan is a reflection yung sinasabi nyo palagi na inflation rate na consider nyo kaya nag-increase ang budget every year. I'm not an economist kaya tanong ko yan sa inyo. But anyway, ma'am, ganito. Nagkaroon ba kayo ng comparison with other yung mga ASEAN neighbors natin, especially Vietnam? Ito kasi yung bansa na hindi basta-basta nabubuli ng China pagdating dyan sa West Philippine Sea or sa South China Sea. Itong Vietnam, gaano kalaki yung kanilang defense spending as compared to ours? Kasi kung po pwedeng i-approximate natin yung kanilang commitment ng gobyerno nila towards defense budget, then baka po pwedeng dandahan nating kopyahin. Meron ba kayong study yan kung gaano kalaki yung sa Vietnam?
Wala po kami existing data but we can look for it po and then we'll try to compare po and then maybe in the future budget po baka pwede po natin mahabol po
Okay.
Kaya po.
With your permission, Your Honors, I just want to acknowledge the presence of one of the committee vice chairs, Senator Francis Tolentino, our Senate Justice and Blue Ribbon Chair. Good morning, sir. Go ahead, Your Honor.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you for that answer, ma'am. Now, I will just give you a hypothetical situation, ma'am, no, sirs. Ganito, nakikita ko dito, yung proposed budget by sector. Sa social services, 37.9%. Economic services, 29.6%. Debt burden, 12.1%. General public services, 15%. Defense, pinakakawawa, pinakamaliit, 12.9%. Now, here's a hypothetical question. Halimbawa, ako ang presidente. Then kayo pa rin kasi magagaling kayo na economic team eh. Kayo pa rin gagawin kong members ng economic team. Sabihin ko sa iyo, sir, Sen.Bato, I am the president, ha? Social justice natin masyadong malaki. 37.9%. Pwede mo bang tanggalin yung tail niya na 0.9%? Idagdag mo sa defense para magiging 6 something? Yung economic services, bawasan mo yan ng, halimbawa, 10%. Idagdag mo sa defense. Debt burden, huwag na natin gawin yan, baka hindi tayo pautangin pag binawasan natin yan, o hindi tayo pautangin. General public services, bawasan mo ng konting porsyento, ilagay mo sa defense. Is it feasible? Is it doable? Granting, ako presidente ha, sabihan ko kayo, you do this, you do that.
To remind everyone, Senator Bato was the presidential candidate of PDP Laban. And he was accompanied by Senator Tolentino to the COMELEC when he filed. Kumakain pa po siya ng spam doon, pero nung ina-inform siya na siya yung presidential candidate ng PDP Laban.
Nagulat ako, Mr. Chairman, na presidential pala ako. Nagulat ako, ha? But anyway, that was history. Yun lang, sir. Given that hypothetical situation, kaya yung gawin yan?
President, it can be done, but I will have to explain to you why it's difficult to do it.
Yes, sir.
Because
Please explain.
a big part of our citizen right now is are the young, and we have to educate them, provide them health care, social protection, so we can develop them into a productive workforce. So yun po ang ating ace. We have a very young population. Median age is 25. And in an aging world, yun po ang importante po sa atin. So I will argue that we should continue to provide for social services. And we'll, of course, since you're the president, I will do my best to comply.
Yes, sir. You were the BBM secretary when President Duterte ordered you na dublihin mo yung sweldo ng ito po. Sinubli mo. And we are very thankful to you. Salamat, sir. Maraming salamat. Pero ngayon, ikaw rin nagsasabi na dapat yung pensyon ng military mag-contribute na sila. MUP, ikaw rin nagsabi. So,
Pero sinabi ko rin po yung President Duterte that there is a risk that it's not sustainable.
alam ko, sir, how good you are because you've been through administrations. Kaya magaling ka. Kaya pag ako, ito nga, hypothetical situation, ako presidente, ikaw pa rin yung aking Secretary of Finance. And yun nga ang aking...
Baka hindi niya tanggapin kasi mahirap naman sa ating trabaho, Sen.Bato.
Kaya kasi, kung halimbawa, no, yan, you argue to me that hindi po pwede yan, sir, dahil ganito gano'n. Sabihin ko sa'yo, hindi naman yan totally tanggalin. Bawasan mo lang ng kunti. Idagdag mo sa defense para makabili tayo ng barko na may malaking powerful na yung malang water pump na pag binuhusan tayo ng tubig ng China, ng Chinese ship, maka-respond tayo, tubig sa tubig. Baka din ng tubig dito. Yun lang naman ako, sir, awang-awa na tayo sa ating mga pwersa doon. Forgive me. My heart goes to the MUP because I've been there, done that, and saw my people dying before my eyes during encounters with the enemy. Kaya kung itong pambabastos ng China, simpleng tubig lang, wala tayong panglaban, kawawa naman talaga yung ating Coast Guard, kawawa yung ating Navy. Kaya sana, akin ang appeal sa'yo, if I were the President, Secretary Diokno, ang gala mo lang ng konti sa dulo yan, no? Idagdag mo sa defense. Yung nga, despite your resentment, despite yung lahat ng mga argumento mo, sabihin ko, no, tanggalin mo yan, lagay mo dyan. Kaya, sir? Kaya? Ha? Kaya?
Then kung ikaw ang presidente, done. It's
Yun.
done.
Sige, hintayin natin. Maging presidente ako at palakihin ko itong hindi, wala akong pangarap maging presidente, ha? Gusto ko lang talagang makalaban yung ating mga tao doon. Ay, napakakawawa talaga. So, dagdagan natin kunti para Ngayon, sir, ito, at our level, simple lang tayo. Halimbawa, I am the one defending the defense budget. I am the one defending it on the floor. At my level, sabihin ko, hindi kayo mag-argue kung sabihin ko na, sir, pwede natin tanggalan dito konti, dagdag dito. Kaya? Kaya? Hindi kayo mag-revolusyon? DBM.
Hindi na po ako budget secretary.
Yes. Like, at least, kayo pa rin kukonsultahin eh. Kayo ang economic team eh. Kayo ang economic team. So, magkukonsultahan pa rin kayo. Yun lang ba? Ako nakikiusap para sa ating mga sundalo, ating mga Navy, yung ating mga Coast Guard nandoon na parang kawawa. Palagi na, tinatanong ko, anong masasabi mo, General Bato, Senator Bato? Ako po ma-advise ating mga Coast Guard dyan, please exercise maximum restraint, maximum patience. Huwag kayong mag-start ng war. Huwag kayong lumaban, huwag niyong putukan yan ng baril dahil it will start a world war kapag magsimula yan. So sabihin ng ating mga Coast Guard, hanggang ganyan na lang yung kuwan mo, sir. Hanggang ganyan na lang yung magagawa mo. Pakiusap sa amin, senador ka man, dapat mag-allocate kayo ng pondo para sa amin makabili mo lang kami ng malaking water cannon na panglaban. O kaya yung laser. Kasi nabubulag na kami, sir. Tinamaan yung mata namin. Sinino namin yung mga insect na yan para may panglaban kami. So, yun lang, sir, sa akin. Baka pwedeng, I'm the one defending the defense budget.
Senator Bato, Vice Chair. Senator Villar is asking how much ba yun? Magkano ba yun? Mukhang magdo-donate siya eh. Magkano daw yun?
Well, ito lang naman, as senators, yun lang naman ang aming may tulong sa mga sundalo natin, mga Navy, mga sailors at mga Coast Guard na nandun ngayon sa West Philippines. Kawawa. Makita mo yung sitwasyon ng BRP Sierra Madre? Makita mo, how many years na sila nakatira nun, yung mga Marines natin? So, parang ako, galing ako dyan sa sector na yan, tapos ngayon, senador na ako ngayon, wala mo lang ako may contribute para ma-alleviate yung buhay nila doon sa mga puro kalawang na Sierra Madre. Sana magtutulungan tayo, yun lang naman sa akin, patulungan natin sila.
Magkano yun?
Magkano?
Sir, hindi po, tinatanong ko po yung staff. Mr. Chair, yes po, naintindihan po namin yung need, especially now. That's why, given our limited fiscal space, we still tried to increase the budget po of our defense sector. In fact, the share is from 4.4 to 4.9%. And ganun din po sa Philippine Coast Guard because we understand during the budget deliberations po is that meron po silang mga barko pero wala pong ammunitions yung mga barko po natin. That's why we also provided a sum for that para po makabili sila ng ammunition po para sa mga barko nila. But we also asked them na siguro po in the future, maybe proper planning also is necessary because when you buy something, sana po kumpleto para mapondohan po natin lahat. Because yung previous years po, they just bought the boat, wala pong ammunition, and then they will tell us kulang yung ammunition. So maybe yun po. So siguro po in our future budget deliberations and when they present their budget, we'll have a clear picture po of what they need exactly. But we try to put budget po for the ammunitions po ng mga existing na mga barko na meron po yung Philippine Coast Guard.
Okay na sa akin yun, na marinig coming from you that your mind is on the budget and your heart is on the feeling of our Filipino sailors and Marines na nandoon sa West Philippine Sea. Medyo okay na sa akin yun at least we are on the same page, we are all Filipinos. Sana tulungan natin talaga sila doon. Yun lang apila ko sa inyo. At to move forward, matanong ko lang ma'am kung yung budget utilization rate ba ng defense at armed forces okay ba? Baka mamaya, yun na naman gagawin yung rason bakit hindi nyo binibigyan ng additional budget dahil yung kanilang budget utilization rate ay mababa. Wala pa, wala. Anyway, pero mataas. Ay, salamat naman. Salamat naman kung mataas.
Mataas po, it's almost 60% po yung obligation rate and 75% po yung disbursement rate. So mataas po.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Mr. Chair, ilang minutes pa ako?
Actually, you consume 12 minutes.
12 lang?
Yeah, of the allowed 10.
So, isa na lang, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead. Yeah.
Ma'am, based on the recent family income and expenditure survey, the province that saw the biggest increase in poverty incidence among population were Region 7 with 9.88% point increase. Mimaropa with a 5.71% point increase. And Region 1 with a 4.5% increase. May we know how did the economic managers factor this in preparing the 2024 budget? nagpakturin ba ito ma'am o wala? Hindi ito na bigyan ng pansin. Mas dumami ang naghirap doon sa Region 7. 9.88